Can you confirm the number of complaints made to Tusla's Tell Us complaints portal in 21-22 and to date in 2023, and what the most common complaint was and how they were dealt with? Thanks.
Thank you, Deputy. So, Tusla, the Child and Family Agency, tries to ensure the best outcomes for children, families, individuals and communities by listening to feedback and complaints through their Tell Us portal, which is available to all. In 2021, there were 598 complaints. In 2022, there was 749, and in 2023 to date, there have been 201. Just to note, in 2021, Tusla received 73,000 referrals, and in 2022, Tusla received 82,000 referrals. Tusla provides this data publicly in its annual reports, including a breakdown of the number and categories of complaints. The complaint process has 4 stages. Stage 1, Tusla aims for local resolution where at all possible. Key performance indicator targets in its current corporate plan aim to improve the complaints resolved in this way by 15%. Tusla has met and exceeded those targets for 21 and 22 and is on target to exceed the 23 target. In 2021, 49% of complaints were resolved at stage 1 and 62 were during 2022. In stage 2, unresolved complaints are referred to a complaints officer who informally investigates. The complainant is given a report with a decision and recommendations. Stage 3, the complainant can seek a review by a complaint review officer if unsatisfied, who will review and can provide any amendments or additions to the recommendations if indicated by the review findings. Stage 3, if a complainant remains dissatisfied, they can seek an independent review from the Office of the Ombudsman or the Office for Children's Office at that stage or at any point during the complaint process. Tusla promotes the constant improvement of its complaint handling and has developed specific training for staff in complaint handling and monitors complaints data on a monthly basis.
Thanks, Minister. I suppose this question arises from records released under the Freedom of Information Act showed HIQA is quite concerned over the way in which the Child and Family Agency process and investigate allegations and complaints, and several of these complaints received by HIQA related to Tusla's management of child protection allegations and safeguarding concerns. And I suppose concerns have also been raised about the quality of care, including care plan, communication, governance and management. And I think probably a lot of these complaints at the root of them is the fact that there's so many social workers often involved with one particular case. A young person or a child can have a social worker and then it can change again, and then we know that there's a lot of cases that don't even have an assigned social worker, so that's also an issue. And I think obviously we know, like we talk about it a lot when we talk about the early years, consistency of care equals quality care, and it's the same in Tusla for children in care. We need to try, I know there's an issue with retention of social workers, but we need to try and tackle that as one element to this.
Absolutely, Deputy, and I think again maybe in the first instance with Tusla coming in to meet yourself soon, maybe there's an opportunity to explore this directly with them in some more detail. I'm certainly happy, as you know, I have a quarterly meeting with Tusla, so maybe that specific issue with HIQA, I could potentially raise that with them at the next quarterly meeting and continue that discussion. Look, I think it is positive to see that some of these complaints are being resolved at a local basis. Obviously, there are times when complaints need to be elevated further. There is, of course, if in a situation where even at the end, at stage 4 of the Tusla process, there isn't satisfaction, there's the ability to the issue to be raised to the Ombudsman for Children's Office, which, as you know, is a statutorily independent office and is very vigorous in terms of pursuing issues like this.
Yeah, I think we have an excellent children's ombudsman in Dr. Niall Muldoon, and they deal very adequately with a lot of complaints. I suppose we just don't want to see a situation where it's getting to that stage. And I know Bernardo's expressed concern as well, just in relation to if people are unhappy with the response that they receive from state agencies, that they would have the opportunity to, I suppose, to register those concerns. And I agree it's good that some complaints are getting resolved. I also think, not that we want a situation where complaints are being made, but it is good that people would feel free, because I think there is a concern, around Tusla, and whenever any parent hears Tusla, they think, I mean, even I deal regularly, and I'm sure a lot of us do, with parents in relation to the 20-day school letter. People panic about that because it's, a letter coming in from Tusla. So it is good if people have the freedom, I suppose, to make those complaints and don't feel that there's going to be any negative repercussions for them. But I do think we need to look, and I think maybe that's something as well in committee, we look at the wider area of child protection and safeguarding and seeing how we can strengthen that. Thanks, Lescan Corla.
Minister to conclude.
Yeah, no, I think it is very important that people feel free to make those complaints. And look, as you know, I suppose whenever there's an issue in terms of the engagement of Tusla with the relationship between a parent and a child, it does create an element of stress. And the fact that there are a growing number of complaints feel that people feel even if they have an issue, they don't worry about retaliation or ever. They feel the systems are robust enough to allow them make a complaint and get their issue sorted. And look, you made the point, and it's right. You know, we do have issues again in terms of social workers. Just like we're working on it in terms of therapists on the CDNTs, we are working to try and retain and recruit more social workers. But while that is happening, there will be parents who feel that, particularly if their child has moved between a number of social workers, and I think we all know building that relationship is so important. So it's absolutely legitimate that parents would flag their concerns, and I think we do have a reasonably robust process in place at the moment.